Okay, folks, looks like we got more disturbing news from Central Park tonight. This time, a 9-year-old girl was punched right by the Plaza Hotel. And that is the main hotel, which is right by Central Park. And for one, I am just deeply disturbed. Deeply disturbed. There's nothing about it on Channel 1's website. You want proof? This is what's on Channel 1's website tonight. I mean, come on. Well, at least the good news is there was an arrest in that. So we'll get into that in a bit. But let's go to Manhattan. Let's see if anything's on the Manhattan tab. Anything? Nothing. I know Channel 5 was covering this tonight. We already talked about it, but let's get into the main point of this video tonight. So here we go. A 9-year-old girl from Miami visiting the Big Apple with her mom was sucker punched in the head today while walking near Central Park, and a doorman at the plaza made sure the assailant couldn't flee before cops showed up. So, I know Pix11 did briefly talk about it tonight, but I'm very disturbed about Pix11, and we're going to talk about Pix11 in this video, because somebody needs to be called out. Alright? Kim Thomas, who was working in a COVID-19 testing booth, said, "We saw a man with a backpack, a red hoodie, and a beige jacket screaming at people, and people literally running away from him, and he was just yelling." I mean, this is disturbing. What time did this happen? You gotta be kidding me. 11:20 this morning. 11:20 this morning. Right when I was setting up the cafeteria for my residents at the nursing home this morning. So while I'm in Bayside, working my butt off, talking to the chef for the day, getting the utensils ready, this happens? I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. You just can't. Okay, so we're going to watch the video of the doorman in a second, but it says here that Neil Johnson was a doorman on duty, and the woman was crying, and they were running away from the lunatic, and was walking fast towards them. So, obviously, gotta get involved somewhat. I got in between them and this crazy guy, and another guy joined me, who apparently saw the whole thing happen, so we just made sure this person couldn't go. So, says here that Raheem Rashaman punched the girl on the left side of her head. I'm sorry if I'm reading this again, but, you know, I'm literally sick to my stomach. I have a 7-year-old cousin. Okay? A 7-year-old cousin. Right? God forbid this happened to him. I am just deeply disturbed about what's going on. And you have Eric Adams. This is what Eric Adams is up to. Guess what our mayor is up to today? Towning arrest. Illegal guns. But what about addressing problems with mental health right now? You know, that's the problem. So it said the poor girl holding her head and clearly in pain. He called the cops when he was making sure the suspect didn't go again. So the girl was treated on the scene, complaining of pain on the left side of her head. Her mom, Elena Cortes Molero, age 36, declined the offer for the kid to receive further medical attention. The girl's name is unknown. The New York Post was unable to reach Contreras Molero on Monday. And you know what? I'm just going to say this right now. Just respect the family's privacy right now. It's bad enough that this 9-year-old girl was visiting from Florida, and she was just trying to enjoy Central Park, and all of a sudden, this happens. I mean, this is all happening in one day. One day where we have 2 fires in the park, and now this. And now this. So at least the good news is the suspect was taken into Midtown North. So, Hopefully this guy isn't let out on bail, because the governor really needs to do something about the bail reform law. She's claiming that she wants judges to have more jurisdiction, and you know what? A judge in this case should. A judge in this case should. And the problem is, you have Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, who's going to put this off. You wait and see. Alvin Bragg's not going to get involved. You think he will? I haven't gone into Manhattan since Alvin Bragg became District Attorney of Manhattan. Alright? And this is what I'm afraid of. This is what's going to lead to what I feel is going to be a very violent summer coming up. You hear about the stuff normally in Chicago or Philadelphia. I'm in fear we're going to become just like them. It's going to be a very violent summer, I feel. And the problem was, again, we all let this happen. We made a big mistake not electing Curtis Lewa. We really did. We made a big hiccup. And by us making this big mistake, and we always say elections have consequences, we really did mess this one up. Alright? And you know, if this happened, if Sliwa was the mayor, believe me, this would have been the week where Mayor Curtis Sliwa would have said something. If he was the mayor, for crying out loud. I'm sorry for politicizing this, but this is a time where we need Curtis Sliwa. I think this is the moment. I really hope that Curtis Sliwa is going to run again in 2025. Because, remember, Rudy Giuliani, the first time around, he lost in 1989. And then he came back in 1993 to win it all. Yeah, I'm sorry for politicizing this, but it's like Eric Adams just doesn't care. And I'm in agreement with Curtis Lewa. There's no compassion. There's no empathy from this guy. Look at him. Look at him. He's just a robot. And I really hope next time... Oops, sorry about that. I was watching something on Disney Plus. Wanted to play the video. My point is... You know, this is the moment where Curtis Lewa's got to address the city. This is the turning point. If it's not now, then when?
Well, I'm working at the hotel, getting someone a cab, and I heard a person screaming and yelling around the corner on Central Park South. And then I heard a woman screaming. And so I ran over to see what was going on, and I saw this big guy walking fast toward a family with a baby in a carriage and a little girl holding her head. She was crying. The woman was screaming, so I knew something was wrong, so I got in between this guy and the family and just started yelling at him, "Don't come another step." And got on the phone, called 911. The guy actually stayed there. The family was frantic. I then spoke with someone who knew the family and told me that this guy had hit this little girl, like a 9-year-old girl.
And trust me, if this was literally happening, I would have literally went inside the Plaza Hotel and I would have asked for somebody to get security. Trust me, because I know the Plaza very well. They have security on premises. Where was the security officers? They could have at least been there until the cops came.
I stayed on the phone with the cops. The cops got there immediately.
And I'm really glad they did, but this doorman should have at least called security. Security should have been notified. Plaza has security.
It was awesome. The cops got there right away. And they ran up to the guy. They cuffed him.
And by the way, I will mention that this building is actually owned by Donald Trump. I think it still is. I don't know, but obviously Trump is too busy playing Florida right now. So, yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at Pix 11 tonight, shall we? Let's go on their YouTube. What we're going to do is we're going to Google Pix 11 YouTube. Here we go. Let's see if they have anything on Eric Adams. So I know they were mentioning it. By the way, I'm happy about this news. We really do need more staff at Osnum. So, Tish James, I really hope you keep to your word. Because we really need help. Alright, we don't have enough staff. And my nursing home is so short-staffed right now. It's a point where, I understand that you get stressed, you get fatigue. It's part of the job. It's part of the job. But we'll get to this in a second. I want to show you what CBS New York was showing tonight. It was CBS New York. Now I remember. Let's see. Well, I'm glad we're trying to get more ferries to LaGuardia because we really should have a ferry in Fort Taunton. I don't know why we don't. I really don't know why. Oh, and then this is this disturbing one. We're going to watch this video in a second. We're not going to watch all the videos, but I just want to show you what's going on here. What's going on here? What's Eric Adams doing? Look at him. 35 victims, 30 incidents, 3 homicides reported in one weekend. This is, again, what normally I'm used to seeing in Chicago or Philadelphia. This is what it's normally like over there. It's like I'm watching WPVI News in Philadelphia. When I was always staying in Jersey. You always hear about a violent incident happening in Philadelphia.
30 incidents, but that's only part of the weekend crime story. There were stabbings, assaults, and
yeah, they even mentioned the incident with the corrections officers.
Attempted rape.
But coming into a rough time of the year, too. I mean, this was the first warm sort of weekend that we had, and all I can say is New York City.
Yeah, I mean, he is right. It was technically warm on Saturday, too. People were out before the rain came in.
Brace yourself. Summer's coming. Because this is just going to be, I think, an off-the-charts kind of summer.
And again, it's on this guy's hands. It's on Eric Adams' hands right here. Being a big old robot like Curtis Lee was said. He corrected it. He predicted this. How are we all stupid not to realize this?
Crime statistics since Mayor Adams took office.
I don't think we're going to be okay.
Victims up 17%, robbery up 45%, transit crime up 75%.
And that's because Eric Adams wants nothing to do with the Guardian Angels. So, because we don't have the additional Guardian Angel patrols that were supposed to be in the subway beginning in January, if we actually elected Curtis Lewa, this number would be a little bit less. Maybe 50 plus if it got to that number. 100 plus. Okay, whatever. Think about it. This is the momentum that led Rudy Giuliani to become mayor in the 90s. This is the same momentum, I think. It has to be.
We're afraid. Should we come back to work because crime seems to be unrelenting?
The fear that people are feeling, I understand what they're feeling.
But what about the people who want to come in for leisure? What about people from the other boroughs who want to go into Manhattan? Like me. Huh? I don't want to have to go into Long Island on a weekday. I really don't.
But we're not going to have a city out of control.
30 shooting incidents, 35 different victims, and that wasn't all. So it's still sending the message that despite the work that these incredible people are doing, we're still having high levels of crime.
Crime is a Titanic. Crime is an ocean liner. You have to start changing the mindset on the streets. You have to start understanding that what we were doing in the past.
What mindset? The emotionally disturbed need help.
It's not what is going to happen now.
Now, the mayor announced that 5 more anti-gun teams are going to be hitting the streets. That means they'll be now in 33 different precincts, live in the Bronx.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I think they need to send one of these anti-gun units to the 111 precinct. Because after what happened in Bayside over the weekend, and then we're going to get to this. We're going to get to this.
Tonight with more violence in New York City and more promises from Mayor Adams to make the streets safer. The latest frightening crime happened in Harlem, leaving a 43-year-old woman in critical condition tonight after police say a suspect tried to rape and kill her on West 123rd Street. We have team coverage. Marsha Kramer was with the...
That darkness may have contributed.
So what time of the day did this happen? This happened at night, right?
Night, but surveillance on foot here Friday night, but surveillance cameras picked up the purposeful stride of this man, who police say punched a 43-year-old woman in the head before dragging her between 2 cars to kick her repeatedly, undress her, and try to rape her while wearing latex gloves. The victim remained unconscious in critical condition through the weekend.
My nephew said,
I mean, really? It seems Eric Adams is so oblivious. And then this is what I'm going to end tonight's video on. Because, you know, to think, I had a decent day at work today. Just think. And then this is happening on the outside.
Go from green to red until the train...
I want to show you this. I want to show you this. Not this. This. Here.
Crumbling infrastructure overnight. Roughly $250 million a year would buy us subways and buses that run at least every 6 minutes, all day, every day.
the state
Listen to how he rambles! Let's see how we can slow Danny Pearlstein's voice. So instead of sending a reporter to Central Park, we're going to send a reporter to Brooklyn to cover a rambling fool from the Riders Alliance.
Overnight, roughly $250 million a year would buy us subways and buses.
Yeah, but what about hiring more staff? That should be priority number 1 right now.
Run at least every 6 minutes, all day, every day.
I mean, this guy, Danny Pearlstein, is so full of it. And then, this guy right here, Tim Minton. Oh, do not even get me started on him. I'm not even going to get into Tim Minton right now. Because I don't even have the patience. Not after seeing my city going into a very violent crisis right now. I mean, come on. You want proof that Danny Pearlstein is... Sorry that I have to do this. I am sorry that I have to do this. Where's the picture? Oh, so it seems the internet's trying to censor us again. Wow. We'll find it. We'll find it. I don't know why I cannot find it. Well, I thought there was a video of Danny Pearlstein in 2020 in a closet. You're going to have to believe me that this guy was doing TV interviews in a closet. So that's the unprofessionalism of everybody going on right now. When Curtis Leva was doing interviews, he was doing it in a proper background in a small apartment in the Upper West Side. I know where he lives. I don't know Mr. Pearlstein's address. And obviously, I only have Curtis's address because I was one of his loyal donors in 2021 to his campaign. I know I have it somewhere buried, but you want to talk about unprofessionalism? You want to talk about how things have gotten really bad? That we have Eric Adams just giving typical responses. I can sense the Rudy Giuliani enthusiasm in Curtis Lewa. I feel it. And Eric Adams is just reminding me of David Dinkins. Back to the status quo. Back to nothing getting done. And we've created this mess. This is going to be a very long summer, I feel. I'm barely lucky enough I can be out of New York on the 4th of July. I'm lucky enough for that. I'm grateful that I can get that opportunity. But some people this summer aren't going to get that opportunity. I didn't have it for 2 years. So we all have to keep continuing this discussion. It cannot stop. It can never stop. Until we get a reduction in violent crime. I know we're not going to eliminate it. We tried that mindset with getting rid of COVID. So let's focus on what we did. Let's reduce the crime. Let's get the mentally ill the help they need right now. Let's get them therapy. Let's get them their meds. Because at least Giuliani was giving them funding for medications. A simple service. And we haven't even seen this guy's first budget yet. We keep hearing about, Governor Kathy Hochul's going to have a budget. What about Eric Adams? We haven't heard anything about his first budget yet. So we're really going to be in a mess, I feel. We're really in a big mess. And as long as this is continuing, I got to speak up. Channel 1 is just going to ignore us again and again. So I'm done for tonight. I've given all my energy I could. You know I'm going to continue to speak up. No one is silencing me. New York City needs a voice right now. I'm not going anywhere. Not without a fight. Alright? Okay? Understand that. So, understand where I'm coming from. Understand where I'm coming from. Alright? You want to put me in Delaware? You want to put me in Delaware? Not without a fight. It's like Pine Power. Alright? I'm stubborn. I'm not going down without a fight. So you want me all to go to the Small Wonder? The first state? You want me all to go to Pennsylvania and hang out there on occasion? Well, it's looking like it each day. So that's it.